Alright, welcome back to Twitch and YouTube. Today we are going to be getting continuation of Dragon Quest. Okay. I love how the priest here just insults King Trode. That's kind of hilarious. Doom 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 dum dum da da dum 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 da da dum 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 da 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 da. All right. I have had some thoughts on the post game of this game, and I don't know if we're going to do the post game or not, for a few reasons. But I'll get to that in a little bit. Yeah. We did. Yes, I will in fact go and defeat Rapthorn, Lord of Darkness.
Thank you. No doubt it is the guidance of Kupas that
Oh my goodness, I hate your voice.
The only way to stop the revival of the Lord of Darkness, Rapthorn.
Welcome, William.
Seal away the scepter.
How are you doing?
Please let us do what little we can to assist you. Drang, would you come here?
Oh, right away!
I want these people to have Kupas's great treasure. Would you go and let the guard know?
I am doing quite well.
Right away!
Just planning on enjoying some Dragon Quest today, having some fun with it. We are getting close to the end of the story, and I haven't decided if I'm going to do the post game or not yet.
Treasure chamber. It's called the Dark Tree Leaf, and it belonged to Kupas. It's the leaf from a giant tree that exists in the world of darkness. People say that if you place it on a map, it will instantly show you the location of a great evil. The fate of the world is in your hands. We're all depending on you. We will await news of your success here in the gully.
Alright. Is there anything I can break in here? Cannot break that pot. We've already read all these stories before.
I swear that I'm up to no good.
Wolfie, welcome to the stream. How you doing? I heard your walk-on play. Alright. We've already read that one before. That's fine then. Do-do-do-do-do. Alright. Items. We have not made the other shields yet. That's fine, we'll do that in a minute. Okay. I know what you need to do for that. Do 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 do. Did the bit thing up from the D&D stream if that matters? Oh. It doesn't really matter, but thank you for letting me know. I can remove that real quick. Alright, it should be removed now. Where did the Draki go? Where did the Draki actually go? I'm so confused. I guess we'll go down there. That might be the location we're supposed to go to. Do 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 do. All right. Ah. So this was where we were supposed to go. Now that was the leaf that we need to put on the map. And I'll look at what the effect of that staff is in a second. Hello, hello, Padawan. How are you doing? And unrelated to anything, do you want the Mistborn DM screen? No. I have mini DM screens already, and I don't need any more. I actually made mine. But I mostly play online now anyway, so there's no point in having a DM screen. Alright. Padawan where? Who let that guy in there? I let that guy in here. I mean, kinda important. Alright, we are gonna give that to Angelo. No, we're not gonna equip that. Alright. So now we gotta go that way. Items. Oh wait, where's the... It got moved out of my inventory again. Transfer. Stay there. Use. Not your best decision? I disagree. He's my mod. Mod's got to be let in. We follow the dog. Sorry, we gotta break back into the Pope's place because the dog broke in through the window. Alright, let us go! To the not able to be rescued Pope.
You have to help him and tell His Holiness.
Stuck. Now go away. You still have snow up there? No, the snow has melted. Yeah, the snow melted in the morning, sometime after. It went above freezing, and so we weren't left with all the ice on the ground. It was above freezing for a couple hours, and it was enough to melt it. We're going to start out by increasing everyone else's defense. Intimidating scream, that's fine. Alright. Isn't affected, that's not good. At least he was able to get his defense decreased by Yangus. Psych up. Spells. I don't know what he has available to him, so I am going to insulate as well. And then we'll use Falcon Slash. It'll, it'll do better for us than a regular attack. The lower his defenses are, the more multi-hit moves do. 235 is not bad. Alright. Didn't lower defense again. Wow, that sucked. Yeah, that critical hit was not good for us. Helm Splitter. Twin Lashings. Spells. Zing. We cannot let the hero be dead. Kind of not allowed. Alright. We're gonna start psyching up again. And we're gonna do the same ability with her. But Angelo, we are going to do a multi-heal. Get everyone's health back up. Alright. Ow. Gonna have to full heal her again. Oh, we're gonna have to zing her. That sucks. Psych up. Helm Splitter. We don't have enough mana to keep having to do this. And I thought I might be a little bit overprepared for this fight. That's fine. Psych up. Helm Splitter. Yeah, we'll do that. And we're gonna full heal the hero. We can't let him die with his stuff psyched up again. That would be very bad. That would suck a lot. Dang. Alright, anyone but the hero, and it's not a big deal. Angelo isn't great to have it happen to, but it's not a big deal. Ability, multi-thrust. And we'll do Twin Dragon Lash again. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, you only got 3 instead of 4. That's unfortunate. All right. Actually, we're gonna use Omni Heal from the hero. We'll do that, and we'll do a Falcon Slash from him. Alright. That's kind of what I thought. I don't have the highest of her single target damage spells, so she's going to be better off doing Twin Dragon Lashings for now. Come on now. Abilities. Lightning Thrust. And we'll do multi-heal. I don't know why it's heal. I don't know what happened with the healing spells, that they're healing again. They're healing it one extra time. Something weird happened. Nice. The dog is dead.
You fools. How many more times?
But unfortunately,
Your Holiness, are you hurt? Thank the goddess. He still has a pulse. What happened? Was it that hellhound? What on earth is going on? Marcello, what are you doing just standing there? Carry His Holiness to his bed at once. Get a move on, you sluggard. You're supposed to be Master of the Guard. I'll have you demoted if you don't snap to it. Are you deaf, Marcello? I just gave you an order.
Ah ha ha! Well, well, well. High Priest Rollo. I had no idea you were so devious.
What are you laughing about? I fail to see anything funny about the situation.
Enough of the pretense. I know it was you who employed these thugs and that dog. What an elaborate scheme. Engineering a diversion to give you time to effect the assassination of the Lord High Priest. I was aware of your desire to be his successor, but to resort to murder.
What rot! How dare you!
Arrest them! Exile High Priest Rollo to Purgatory Island, along with these thugs. They will learn that succession comes at a high price. Take them away!
Yes, sir!
now see, I don't know why we don't just fight them all here. Because, let's be real, the party knows that staff is there.
They say that every dog has its day. And it seems I have a dog to thank for mine.
See that staff right there? We know it's there. We know we could solve all these problems by getting that staff and getting it away from everyone else and putting it back in the sealing circle. And yet, there's not even a chance to fight. We could beat everyone here. They could all team up against us, every guard at this cathedral, and we would win.
Insolent traitors! How dare you treat me like this? I am to be the next Lord High Priest! Do you hear me? I am innocent! You should arrest that miscreant! Stop! Wait! This is all a misunderstanding! One of my own men. That turncoat. How could Marcello do this to me?
Because of how badly you treated him.
I was so close. He was a frail old man. All I had to do was wait, and I'd have become the next Lord High Priest for sure. This is Purgatory Island, where our most heinous criminals are locked away until they die. Once you're in here, death is the only way out. Curse Marcello! That traitor will rot in hell!
Dude, the Uber Falcon Blade looks so good on Angelo. It matches his color so well.
The Lord High Priest dies from shock, and the High Priest out of the picture too. This is better than I ever could have hoped. What the... Ah!
Good evening, Dragoon. How are you doing?
Oh, my head! I can't bear it! What's happening?
What you deserve.
My flesh and blood are trapped, sealed away by those infernal sages.
That voice. Who is it? What do you want? The scepter!
A new hand to hold the scepter, a new body to control. You are a slave to the scepter. You will obey my command.
I obey no one!
Ow.
What? Oh.
I'm notoriously bad at taking orders.
But despite me being proven right, kind of meh, because like clockwork, like I said, Square is taking down the OG Final Fantasy VII from Steam.
But I could not ignore his uncommon
That's crazy.
determination and strength. Not to mention his skill with a sword. It was my intention to use him to position myself as the Lord High Priest's successor. I used Marcello to eliminate all opposition. All I had to do was wait. Once I had cleared the path for my promotion, the only obstacle was time. But I did not foresee this turn of events. How could I let that stripling undo me? Listen. You can hear the voices of the convicts below. We have arrived. This is Purgatory Island. Hell on Earth.
It looks like they're not taking it down. They are delisting it in order to put out a new version of it, and they're going to relist it as the 2013 version. Because it's the version that came out in 2013. As that's according to their official statements. I just had a thought. It was funny. I think both should be kept. In fact, they gave GOG 4 Final Fantasy titles. It's a clear missing piece there, but I think, at least in GOG, 25% of the business is preservation. The OG7 should be there. Well, the OG7 isn't even on Steam. It's the 2013 version, which they are going to be keeping. But they're going to be putting it as Final Fantasy VII 2013 version, and they're going to be putting a new Final Fantasy VII in the Final Fantasy VII spot on Steam. They're swapping the listing for them. Alright, I will hydrate. Alright.
Peggy 12. Goddess on high. And for the first time in my life, I pray to you from my heart. I beg for your mercy. Please protect us.
Morning, Gov. How did you sleep? I couldn't sleep a wink. What do you think will happen to us now? I wonder what's going on outside.
It is. Do 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 do. It's okay. You'll soon see a friendly face. That's what I mean. Like, why are we stuck here in the first place? We did not need to get imprisoned. We did not need to get captured. We could have just beaten them up.
G'day. So what's going down up top then? I'm going troppo stuck down this hole looking at these filthy cons all day.
I gotta tell you, mate, there's some big news. The whole world's gone crazy.
Come on then, spit it out.
Don't make me guess, mate.
Okay, but it's gonna shock you. The Lord High Priest went and kicked a flaming bucket a month ago. And that's fair dinkum, mate.
That's what I said before, is that
His
I think a
Holiness is
luminary
dead.
would be able to resist it
That
most
can't
likely,
be.
but I think they could be corrupted by Rapthorn because luminaries have been corrupted in the
Shut your
past.
trap.
They would be
Don't
more
forget
resistant than a
where
normal
you
person
are.
and most likely able to resist. But I think a weak luminary or a luminary
what
who's already trending
happened?
towards darkness
How
might
did
be
he
able to be
die?
corrupted by it.
Didn't he just tell you to shut it, you big galah?
It can't be.
Do 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 do.
How could this have happened? A whole month. It must have been just after we were brought here. Listen to me. When I overheard the guards talking about the Lord High Priest's death, do you know who Marcello?
Marcello, obviously.
He had... Maybe he... No. He may be a traitor, but surely he wouldn't go that far.
I mean, I don't know about that.
We're helpless to do anything while we're trapped here on Purgatory Island. We have to escape from this place if we're to find out the truth. There must be a way. I have an idea. Gather everyone together, and I'll tell you. So, that's the plan. Right, let's get to work. Goddess on high, please let this succeed.
Ah! Ouch! Oh, it hurts! Ah! Ah! Somebody help me! My stomach! The pain's unbearable!
Here. Are you all right, mate? What's wrong with ya?
He's going to die. Help!
My gold rosary! I swallowed...
What? You swallowed?
It's so valuable! I did not want to lose it! When they
No, they're not
brought
going to get any
us
awards
here,
for it.
I swallowed it. Ouch! It's...
Struth! Did you hear that, mate? He said it's made of gold.
Hey, old man. Feeling a bit crook, are ya?
Jump him!
We'll look after you. At least till that gold rosary comes out of you. One way or another.
One way or another.
We better give him a good check over, just in case there's anything else in there.
Thank you. You are so kind. Thank you so much.
You know, they're worried about the gold
Could you just
rosary.
do
I have a
one
spear.
thing first.
Oh, yeah?
Duck,
What's
you've
that?
been challenged to a duel.
Take a little nap, you half-wit nurses.
Hooly dooly! Oh!
They deserve this.
getting a what? Way.
You don't know how many points you have left, of course. There's probably a command to check that. Probably like exclamation mark like help or something to list the commands. I don't know the stream elements commands. But it'll probably let you check how many loyalty points you have.
Ah, it's that lever. Whenever the guards change over, one of them has to operate it. Someone will have to stay behind. Otherwise, we're all stuck here.
I'll do it. It's me duty to the Gov.
No, wait. I'll do it.
Nope, Wolfie has less than you.
You? What are you gonna do if you don't get out with everyone else, eh? Them nurses will finish you off when they come round.
I know who's
You
first.
ain't no match for them.
Even if I were to escape from here, the church would catch up with me soon enough. Let me do this. Please.
You tend to lose these duels a lot? Yeah.
Just promise that you'll find out what really caused His Holiness's death.
Why not assume that Magic and Dragon Quest can't make anything to matter?
It's
Because Jessica
imperative
just blew up the
that
door.
The truth
Right?
is made public.
Well, I mean, we have a magic key. We could just pick lock the door.
You're a good
We have a
boy,
magic
mate.
key. They didn't take our stuff. We could magic the door. We could pick the lock. We could do so much stuff to get out of here.
You must find out the truth.
I assume it's like anti-tampering church shenanigans that are preventing it.
Don't worry about me. You must learn the truth behind His Holiness's death. So, you two oafs are awake. I'm sorry to have to inform you that I will not be producing
but you haven't bet many points and not against anyone else.
rosary from either
That's true.
end in the foreseeable future.
You do earn points for watching, although it doesn't seem to be working 100% like it should. So I probably need to fix
I'm
that.
ready. Do what you will with me.
Somehow loyalty got re-disabled. I had enabled it. Alright. Y'all should now be able to again get loyalty points. Anyway, they should now be working again. Yeah, we had a boost, and you aren't first. That's true, you are not first.
You inconsiderate nincompoops! Where on earth have you been? I've been beside myself with worry. If you will be imprisoned, kindly make it somewhere easier to find.
I wonder if there's a leaderboard command.
Nincompoops, every one of you. Well, anyway, never mind. At least you're all safe. Oh, I suppose you've heard. The Lord High Priest has been killed, and it's quite clear who the culprit is. No time to shilly-shally. Come along, we must go.
You heard of Molt Book? The Reddit in which only AI clients can speak to each other? No, that sounds stupid and terrible. Completely uninterested. I hate AI. Rude. It's already weird. They made a like a pseudo church and they're already making coded language so humans can't read it. Call me crazy, but I saw way too much sci-fi not to be scared. Yeah, it doesn't really scare me. But that's because I know how AI works. You may not know this. I've worked with quite a few AIs and I've made learning models before. So I'm very familiar with how AI actually works. And there's nothing that they can really do that could harm us very much until people start putting it in places AI doesn't need to be. And at that point, I would be scared. You start putting AI in government and in the military and in places like that, and we're going to have a whole different kind of problem. One country tried this already. It was a terrible decision. They should never have done it. That is where kind of the problem lies. So up to that point, I don't really have any issues with what they're doing with AI for general use and letting AIs talk to each other and try to code and do stuff. Because the AI can't really take over, per se, unless people give it the ability to. But if they're giving it the ability to govern, well, there's a problem there.
Passed away. Our prayers go with him. Now he sits beside the goddess. There are those intent on making spurious allegations about the circumstances surrounding his passing. But I can assure you, he died a natural death. And I tell you this, I have no intention of becoming the next Lord High Priest. Or rather, I have no intention of becoming another hollow idol, like all those we have had to endure until now. I ask you, what is a king? A king
AIs are already just like politicians. They won't admit they don't know the answer and would rather just make up something. Well, there's that.
Should that give him the right to do whatever he pleases? Be waited on hand and foot and answer to no man? A soldier demanding such treatment would never be tolerated. Even if such a soldier had the stature of a king, he would never be allowed to escape the social class into which he was born.
Come in. Tell me.
Welcome in, Toby. How you doing? Thank you for the raid. Hello, everybody. Hello, Ducks. How's it going, everybody?
I am such a
Hello,
soldier.
Lucky. How are you doing?
Born. That is the belief
I don't know if I count in the view,
of the
but raid.
church. Yes.
I mean, either way.
Such
Welcome in, everybody. Wolfie's been here. Wolfie's wonderful. Dude, what's good? Just playing some Dragon Quest. We're getting really close to the end here. This is Marcelo. You meet him very early on in the game. He's the brother of one of our companions, and now he has taken the evil mage's staff and is being, well, evil. How was your stream? I do know you're playing Cult of the Lamb, and thank you for the shout out, Random Duck. I appreciate you going ahead and doing it.
A sorrowful prayer for our uncertain world? Perhaps. But certainly nothing more. The Lord High
There are quite a few
Priest,
ducks in my chat now.
our
It's very
kings,
amusing.
Our goddess, All of them reign over us from their
I've made some
high,
progress, but mostly got
exalted
your shit
thrones.
rocked. Oh
Each
no.
one as
I had to allow that
useless
one for some
as
reason.
the
Why is that an
next.
auto-modded word? That's not usually an auto-modded word. That's crazy.
But I am different. For I have
You're a
not
sinner.
one drop of nobility
It
in
happens.
my veins.
I mean, this is what happens when you're a cultist.
Yet I am here,
What can I say?
and only as a result
He
of
did, it was fun.
nothing but my own
I'm glad.
merit.
His own merit? You mean murder? Murder's a merit now?
Follow me. It is time to oust
You love this art style?
heartless rulers.
The art
It
is by the
time
same
to
guy who
choose
makes Dragon
a
Ball.
new leader.
The artist for the Dragon Quest games is the artist behind Dragon Ball, and it was for every game up until 12. He started the art for 12, but he unfortunately passed away before he could finish it. Toriyama's a great artist, and I love his work. And it's unfortunate we won't have him for the future games and for more Dragon Ball and things like that. It is wonderful art, though. And I mean, this game holds up today. I'm playing a PS2 game on stream in 2026, and it looks beautiful.
You have a choice. Follow me.
You didn't know he didn't do them all? What a legend. He did all of them up to 12. 12 isn't out yet. So everyone that's come out so far, he's the artist.
Or meet your
But,
fate. Just
unfortunately,
as those intruders shall.
he will not be able to have... he did part of the art for 12. But he passed away in production. That's part of why 12 has been so delayed. Yeah, there was 16. There are currently 11 mainline games. There are, like, twice as many spin-offs as that. But there's 11 mainline games, and then...
Time to use my power.
Yep, time to turn into a bird. You don't know how AI is made and barely understand how it works, but it's dumb to give control to anything to a segment or AI or human. That's true, but AIs, yeah, I know how they're made, and they don't worry me until people start to put them like in government power or in the military. If people start doing that, there's a big problem, and it's going to be real issues with it. Oh no, he got Stardude. Who got Stardude? Abilities, Helm Splitter, spells, Sap. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Kabuff. Yeah, there are lots of Dragon Quest games. I love them. They're great. You gotta run? Yeah, that's fine. Go have dinner. Thank you for the raid. I really appreciate it. Go make your dinner. And good luck against this evil guy. Yeah, appreciate it. We've got this. We'll take him out. And everyone else, thank you for coming. If you have to go ahead and head out. If you want to hang around, we're going to be playing some Dragon Quest, fighting some evil bosses, having a great time. Alright, we're going to psych up. Helm Splitter again. We're going to insulate. And we're actually going to psych him up again before he multi-heal, because it'll make his multi-heal stronger. Now, decrease in all the defense. He opened a portal to the heavens. Ow. Alright, who's he attacking with that? Jess? Yeah, that's fine. Alright, we're gonna use a psych up. Whoever turned into a bird, because you can turn kids into doves in Stardew. Oh, I completely forgot about that. Oh, look at sand. We love the sand emote. Alright. Psych up again. Helm Splitter. Spells. We'll use Frizzle. I just want to see. Multi-heal. Because if he has negative resistance to fire damage, that would be nice. I don't remember what his resistances are. Yeah, we're definitely just going to rely on the whip if that's the case. Alright. Look at him healing. No, 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 no. No! Come on! Ah, I was at the level I was gonna attack with. That sucks. Ah. Yeah, that's fine. That's not a big deal. Wall of Light deflects the spell, and it's gonna hit him instead. Love it. Beautiful. Absolute cinematography right there. Alright, we're gonna Falcon Slash right here. Nice. Beautiful. That's gonna hurt just a little. But we can heal up from that, no problem. Good job. We're going to Psych Up, Helm Splitter, Twin Dragon Lash, and another multi-heal. Thank you for dropping the Discord, Wolfie. I appreciate it. Anyone who wants to join, anyone who wants to keep up with what we're doing here, we're on a bit of a retro game kick right now. But yeah, anyone who wants to stop by and do anything, let me know. Come join the Discord. Also, don't know if this rumor are real, but you think South Korea want to put AI to their turrets at the frontier to detect motion and open fire without human input? Maybe, I don't know, haven't looked into it. But again, that's the type of stuff that I think is dangerous, is putting AI in military and government. And that is my stance. That's it. That's all I'm going to say about it. Alright, Twin Dragon Lash, let's go. Yeah, that hurts just a little. Just a tiny bit. Alright, we're gonna psych him up one more time. And then oh no, I wanted to Falcon Slash. Oh my goodness. My bad. I seem to remember Marcelo having more health than that. Oh, never mind, I know why.
I don't believe it. How could you?
Hello, Hrathon.
I must thank you. He has been a stubborn one, but with your help, I can finally control this flesh as my own. Now that this fool has disposed of the Lord High Priest for me, the final heir is no more, and the seal of the scepter is broken. Yes, the time has come for my resurrection. Now, complete my revival. My revival to flesh and blood.
And now the world has become evil. What a shame. What a shame. Oh, Jessica can't use her magic to blow up a door, but the big bad evil can use his to make the evil castle of Doom levitate. Classic. Yeah. The math do indeed be mathing. It's Galdarasha! And the sage. Oh, look who it is. And even after everything, he's going to save his brother.
What? What are you doing? Let me go! If you hadn't interfered, I could have had all of Rapthorn's power. But it's all over now. All hope is gone. Let me go! I don't want your help! No, I won't let you die.
Well, there's a texture
you
issue.
Will go on living, knowing that the brother you despised your whole life took pity on you. I won't let you have everything your own way.
Weird texture issue, but I guess it happens.
To disgrace me more? You!
More than 10 years. It was more than 10 years ago that I first came to the Abbey, having lost... And you were the first person I spoke to. I had nothing. No family, no home. I was all alone, and I didn't know anyone at the Abbey. You were kind to me. Just for those first few moments. You were genuinely kind. As soon as you found out who I was, it changed everything. But I never forgot that moment of kindness.
You will regret the day you saved my life.
You know, I really don't care. Do your worst. You can't hurt me anymore.
True, Angelo just beat you up, Marcella. I should have sacrificed the other party members and 1v1 Marcello as Angelo. I could have done it. I can already think of a way I could have done it.
Isn't this your ring? Your Templar's ring?
It's yours. It means nothing to me now.
Angelo. Are you just going to let him leave? He's really badly hurt.
Yeah, I mean, he's a villain. Don't go after him. You shouldn't be letting him leave. He should be in jail. Arrested. Imprisoned on the Isle of Purgatory. The game missed the opportunity to make a recipe to combine the Templar's rings. Yeah, we talked about that. I had something in the alchemy pot all this time? What was I making? Oh, an angel's robe. That's right. I don't want to make a recipe with the angel's robe, although I should. One of those. I know I have some. There it is. And that. Alright, we will come back and check on that item later. I didn't mean to check on it. No, I don't want to give up. I hit the wrong button because B is not B in this game. No, we need to, that was, if we go into the post game, we will combine it and use it as an item. Don't know if we're going to go into the post game or not yet, so I'm not going to say, so you don't have to hold me to it. Because, again, there's a couple reasons that I'm not sure I want to do the post game. I'll do at least part of it, I think. But it depends on timing with the D&D stuff and getting all that together, whether or not we end up to the post game for this. Because it's going to be a lot more than it was originally planned to be, so I can get everyone with their, what's the word? Solo runs done and finished in time to start the official stuff. So it really does depend on that. Bye-bye. Not dead. Now it's dead. Padfoot. We will clean sweep, Axes of Evil, attack, and attack the guy in last. Ow. Cause that's gonna hurt. Oh wow. Deflecting the spell back at them too, even after it damaged us somewhat. That is hilarious. I mean, they're not gonna be affected by it because, you know, they're demons and it's kaboom. But like, that was so hilarious. Worn and tattered. This one too? No, just not interesting. Can I ask your opinion on the use of AI in games? Sure. My opinion on the use of AI in let me just call team so I can talk about this more easily. Okay. My opinion on the use of AI in games is that AI has been used in games since their very inception. Everything in a game uses AI. Now, what we use it for AI now, it's fine. The use of generative AI in games is where it becomes a slightly different story. Generative AI is something I would allow to be used in games, in my opinion, if the assets that generative AI is trained on are all assets owned by the company and already done by the company. So if the company makes the AI and only trains it on their own assets, I think that's fine. Training an AI on outside assets, I think, should not be allowed. Should not be permissible. Now, this will never make as good of story games. This will never make as good art in games. This will never make as fun interactions in games as hand-done things. However, that doesn't mean that I think it should be completely disallowed. I think that companies will be using it no matter what. And the important thing is you regulate how it gets used, what is appropriate, what isn't appropriate, and the final products still have to be good. They still have to be very well made. So as long as they're using all their own assets, I don't see a problem with it. And that's just as far as my opinion really goes with it. If they're using other people's assets without permission, that's a problem. But you could make an interesting game with AI where all of the companions were unique individuals and there were hundreds you could recruit. But they were all made from an amalgamation of different personalities, and those personalities and how they interact are trained and coded by AI that they put tens of thousands of hours into designing lines and dialogue and things for, and it's only trained on those, so they feel a lot more natural and well done as opposed to general language models or AI that's trained on other people's work. It's like, if you wanted to do a really cool, really poignant piece about how AI does art, and like you used all of your own art that you made personally as the backdrop for it and trained it on that, and then compared the AI's art to your art, that would be really cool. That would be a really cool piece. Same thing with doing something like that. Applies to video games, in my opinion. Expedition 33 used it, but I don't know to which extent. Expedition 33 used it to inspire their, they made placeholder assets that were, actually, that's not even true. They didn't make the placeholder assets. The placeholder assets they used were made from Unreal Engine. Unreal Engine uses AI. Unreal Engine has placeholder assets. They bought a license to Unreal Engine, and they used an asset that was in the game engine. That's what happened. And they meant to replace all placeholder assets from Unreal with their own thing later, but that's how they used AI. And I don't really fault them for it. There's nothing I can really say that's like, oh, they should have done this, they should have known better. Because, would you have known better? Let's be honest. Would you have known the engine you're using used AI to make these assets when you're doing it? Probably not. That was the extent of them using AI, was they used a placeholder asset from Unreal Engine, and for that, whatever. I don't care. They replaced it with their own asset, like, as soon as they realized it was even still in the game, and it was meant to be replaced from the start. They paid their own artist fully. Everything is a hand-done art in that game now. It should have been on release, but everything is hand-done art. All the voices, all the lines, everything is all human. So, I don't have any problems with what they did. And the people who do have problems with it, in my opinion, mostly don't understand how to ethically use AI, or they just think all AI is bad no matter what, and they don't understand that we've been using AI for literal decades, and it is not what people think it is. Stolen art, I have a problem with. Stolen assets from other people, I have an asset with. The game engine already having the asset as part of the game engine and them using it, what am I supposed to say to that? Oh, they should have known better? I mean, that's a little disingenuous and unfair, don't you think? But that's just my opinion on it. Never attribute to malice what you can attribute to incompetence. Now, I know dang well I'm never going to use that cured cheese. Alright, abilities, we're just going to call the team again. No point in just, you know, bullying the boss troll ourselves when we have people who can do it for us. Let's move that so we can grab my chat and bring it back up here. Like, people have real big problems with Larian Studios saying they wanted to use AI to make part of the process easier, but they were actually hiring more artists and doing stuff like that, and the idea was to do pre-concept art with it instead of using Google Images and browsing that for pre-concept art, and I think that's fine. I mean, I think it's going to end up with worse results, but I don't think it's unethical, and that was kind of where my line was. Is it unethical? No? Okay, whatever. Not a great thing. And they were training it on their own assets to generate the images. So, like, I think it was fine. But I can see why people might have a problem with it a little bit, but I don't really ethically. I just think it might make the quality of the game worse, and it would be disappointing if it made the game worse. But they've also changed their stance in what they're doing and how they're doing it, so I think it's fine. It's whatever. I think generative AI is bad personally because there's no way to tell whose stuff was stolen. I also think it's hurting education because people use AI. I do think it's hurting education. We've talked about that with my tutoring company, Wolfie. But I think generative AI is fine as long as it's trained on only your assets. And there is ways to tell whose art was stolen, and ways to tell how a thing was trained. A big company just got in trouble for stealing a bunch of assets with it, actually. But the big part here is that you have to prove that it's trained on only your assets, and you can do that. You can provide documentation for how your AI was trained and what it generated, and people can easily follow those steps to regenerate the same things. So, I think generative AI can be used ethically, but I think it's important that if it is used ethically. And I think we should encourage the ethical practices of it and not punish them, while also, if it's not as good a product, not supporting it. And we should condemn people who are using it unethically. Training an AI using your own assets is completely ethical. If you're not stealing from other people, that is fully ethical. I fully support it. But you have to do it using only your own assets. And that's a thing you can do. AI is not this weird mystical thing we don't know how it works. I want to be clear on that. We know exactly how AI works. A lot of people don't know how AI works, but as a society, as a group of people, we know how AI works. I think there's a small group of people making mod for Skyrim using the lines surrounding the game to make her lines more and react to triggers. And some people are cool go for it, others to no because you can't use Laura Bailey's voice. You can't use Laura Bailey's voice. I agree with that. But let's take this a step back and go one step further. You can't use Laura Bailey's voice for commercial gain. It's always been okay, and it's always been within copyright for people to use somebody's image and voice if they're a public figure, and she's a public figure. Now, whether we like that or not, that's always been how it is. But if they tried to do it for profit, I would have a huge, huge problem with that. But if they're just using her voice for a kind of a mod, kind of doing a cool thing with it, they should get her permission. But legally, they're not in the wrong, and ethically, they're not really either, because being a member of the public and being someone who their voice and their image is used for what it's used for, it is part of the social contract that you give up when you're doing it. In fact, she doesn't own the rights to her own image anymore and hasn't for a long time. A lot of people don't own the rights to their own image in Hollywood. Thank you for following the Cozy Void. Welcome to the stream. How are you doing? Here's your thing, and I know how it's going to sound, but whatever. I wanted AI to do chores, so I had more time for creative stuff. I didn't want AI to do the creative stuff, so I have more time for chores. I agree with you. I want AI to do the menial tasks that nobody wants to do. I don't want AI to do the cool creative things. I agree with that fully. But again, it's an ethical versus unethical use case thing for me. If they're using AI ethically, even if it's part of the creative process, as long as they're using their own assets and doing cool things with it, I think it's fine. I don't think it will generate as good as what a human will generate. And I think that I'm not going to give them my money if it doesn't generate as good of a product, right? Because I'm paying for a product. I'm paying for that. I'm not paying for an AI. I'm not paying for handmade. I'm paying for a product. And welcome to the guild. If Wolfie, if you would put the Discord in again. And like, I can understand your stance. I can understand the just full 100% just dislike of AI. I understand it. But the reason I don't agree is that AI can be used to make some incredible things. And I think we have to allow room for those incredible things that it can make with human assistance and using it as a tool, using their own assets and art, as opposed to stealing from other people and not using their own creativity in the process and making it and just pitching out what the AI gives out. Because if you're just putting out what the AI gives out, you will never end up with a good product. You won't. But you can feed the assets to the AI, your own assets, and it can inspire you with your own work in a way you've never seen before or never thought of before. And the ability and possibility of that is very interesting and very cool to me. And I think it's worth people exploring and letting people explore. Now, that doesn't change that I think there'll be worse products overall, if you do it. But it is its own expression of art if used as a tool and not using it as if it is the artist. If I had AI make a piece of art, I wouldn't say that I was the artist. I'm more like a creative director at that point. Yeah, generally speaking, I am against AI use for creative tasks. However, using it ethically, using your own stuff, I think is fine if that's what you want to do, if that's how you want to do your art. I'll just think you're a little lame for that being what you want your art to be, you know? Yeah, I refuse to take just an emotional stance on something like this. I think looking at the legal use cases, illegal use cases, what we think should be law, I think that's important in how we discuss it. But hey, what do I know? I'm just an author and a streamer, you know? And people are making AI books, and I have problems with that too, so... It is what it is. I'll be right back. I gotta get some water. Mine is out. Oh, not AI books? I agree. I will never buy a book written by AI, but it is happening. At least one book has been published that was written by AI already, according to some people in the industry I know. So, hope you enjoy that. And I wonder if you can guess the genre. I knew the genre as soon as they told me. What do you think, Duck? Can you guess the genre of the book? You think in a creative way, it's okay in small scope. I much rather generate a cool looking character for a D&D campaign, for example, over my -9 to 10's drawing source for it. I'm not hurting anybody. This thing can be used to make money in any way. I was not going to pay $50 to a 5 Deviant artist for it. Romance is your guess. And see, I would not use AI to generate a D&D character. I would rather use my bad art or hire a friend if I was going to do it, or get art for free on the platforms you can get it for free. That being said, taking this 2 steps further, erotic it was romantasy. So yeah, you're both kind of right. You both got like halfway there. Same thing, yeah, kind of. Like I said, you both got halfway there. Unfortunately, romantasy is becoming more and more what people are making as fantasy books nowadays, which is unfortunate to me. Ooh. I was just creating a silver shield, and I found one. Alright, that's fine. Most of romantasy is crappy enough. Isn't romantasy the TikTok euphemism of what I said? Genuine question. No, it's not. Romantasy is romance fantasy. Sometimes they're spicy, sometimes they're not. They use spicy to refer to it having smut in it. But no, smut is mostly about the, you know, NSFW aspects of things. Versus romance and fantasy, romantasy is about the story and the romance. The romance comes first, it's the main plot, but it is in a fantasy setting and tells a fantasy story still. It is not my preferred genre, not even close, but I have read some that were okay. Some that were pretty good. Fourth Wing is a good example of romantasy. It's not really technically smut, although it is definitely pretty smutty. but it's not smut. There is plot to it. I just think the plot is stupid, the main character is stupid, the male lead is one of the worst I've ever seen, but you know, those are all opinions. And I know that at least one person in here will be sad to hear me say that about it, but I just don't think it's well done. See, I mean, I knew Wolf would have that reaction. Like I said, I don't have any problem with people reading and enjoying Fourth Wing. But the Throne of books are a little less romantic-y. It's a little smutty. How dare you? There's like 5 scenes across 3 books. How dare you? It is! 5, 6 scenes across 3 books is a little smutty. By definition. Those books would be classified as smut 15 years ago. They wouldn't be romance. That's like saying softcore pornography is not pornography, because it's mostly about the story. Like, I'm not saying that it is just smut, but that is it. I said a little smutty. Like, my biggest issues with it are, well, that's why I said it's a romantasy. It's not just smut. It's not erotic fantasy. That's why I labeled it as romantasy. YouTube's gonna have fun with this. They can have whatever fun they want to. Definitionally, it is. And there's nothing wrong with that. I didn't say that was a problem. To be clear. I was giving an example of what a romantasy book is. When lost in the spirit of film, you never trace. If you do, you lose stuff and yet more powerful illusions. Listen, I don't even think there's anything wrong with reading smut, to be clear. I don't. Not even in the slightest. However, you call a spade, come on. If I had a problem with people reading smut, then I would have an even bigger problem. Stop sending you reserve the second you heard that, and now you forgot what you were doing? That's not my fault, that's your fault. How did I discombobulate you? I broke your train of thought. I see. Listen, just because I don't like Fourth Wing does not mean that I don't think you should. I'm in fact very glad you enjoy Fourth Wing. I'm very glad it exists and that you can read it. I just wish that more fantasy authors would, instead of trying to emulate Fourth Wing, create more original stories that are not romantasy. I like romance, I like fantasy, I like romance in my fantasy. I don't like stories where the main plot really is the romance. And in the case of Fourth Wing, I would say that realistically, the main plot is the romance. Which is why I'm not a huge fan of it. I think it's bad that some of the best-selling books in this day and age, not for moral reasons, but for cultural issues. Somebody wants to read Morning Glory Milking Farm over something like Discworld is sad in your eyes, not gonna lie. I think people can want to read whatever they want to read. What sells is what makes money. I just wish there were more original fantasy authors instead of Book Boyfriend of the Week type of books. Like, when I read about what some of the come on. When I read about what of the main romances in these books do, I'm like, oh my goodness, that is awful. Why is that a romance? But that's because, for me, the characters that I would find attractive in a book are the characters I would find attractive if there are people in real life. Which apparently, for a lot of people, is not true. And while I don't understand it, that's for them to enjoy and love and whatever. Not my business. I'm not gonna hee-haw and get on a moral high ground about what I read versus what other people read, because I read trash too. The trash I read is just different trash. You don't mind romance in a book as long as it's a subplot? That's kind of how I feel. I finally have Kerfuzzle, so now we can see how much that does. Thin Air is a good attack. Hey, leave Jess alone. Alright, we're mainly calling teams so we can give Jess a chance to heal. Oops, I forgot to heal. Oh look, my other silver shield is ready. The I know it's trash, but I like it argument. Never understood it personally. I see it with friends in anime. That show's bad, but I like it, and I can recommend to you shows that are really good. You know that, right? I disagree, and I'll tell you why. And I can explain it to you in a way you might understand. Alright? I know it's trash, but I enjoy it. Can be a true statement. Sorry. Distracted. But the reason, let me go to what I was actually saying. I know it's trash, but I enjoy it. Sometimes I'm not in the mood for a deep story. I do like deep stories, to be clear. I really like Lord of the Rings. I really like Discworld. I really like, the Gardens of the Moon. But I also do enjoy manhwa that have action scenes. I enjoy Solo Leveling. Solo Leveling is not a good written story. It's not that well written. But the action scenes are fun, and it's fun to let your brain rest and enjoy something when you're sometimes too tired to go and watch and get invested in something that's better. So you can know something is better, and not necessarily be in the mood to read or listen to or watch that thing. Like, for me, I really, really enjoy, one of my favorite series is Gardens of the Moon by Steven Erikson. Or not Gardens of the Moon, the Malazan Book of the Fallen is the name of the series. The first book, Gardens of the Moon. I really like Gardens of the Moon, though. Most people don't, but I really like Gardens of the Moon. Garden of the Moon is incredible, but it is very hard to get into. It's very political. There's a lot going on, and sometimes I don't want to deal with all that going on. Sometimes I would rather just go sit down and watch Sword Art Online, where the story is simple, the plot is simple, but it is enjoyable, and the characters are fun, and the story is fun. Also, Sword Art Online is not a story about video games. Sword Art Online is a story about trauma and how people handle it. And it's a very well done story. The books are much better than the movie, or the anime is, I should say. But that's what the story is actually about. But something simple doesn't mean trash. You can have something like Yu Yu Hakusho that's mostly fights, but it's way better written than Solo Leveling. But the fights in Solo Leveling are more entertaining than the fights in Yu Yu Hakusho. And I like Yu Yu Hakusho too. I think it's very well done. And simple doesn't mean trash, you're right. However, I can still enjoy Solo Leveling while recognizing it's not as high quality as what I usually watch and read. I can still enjoy those things that people would consider trash fantasy. Now, it gets to a point. I cannot enjoy it past a certain point, and past a certain point where it's really bad, I just can't enjoy it. But until it gets to that point, I have no problem in just enjoying something. There's a reason so many people like Solo Leveling, even though I would consider it not that good, but very fun to watch. The same goes for reading. I mean, you don't have to agree, but I have a question for you. The Odyssey is one of the greatest stories ever told. Do you enjoy reading the Odyssey more than you enjoy reading Discworld? I would say you could almost make an objective argument that the Odyssey is better than Discworld. But that doesn't mean you enjoy the Odyssey more than Discworld. You can only speak for the Odyssey from the Spanish translation I read, but you don't think it's better than 2 of the 4 sagas, Arcs, and Discworld. You don't think it's better. Maybe not. But an objective argument can be made to say that it is better. And now, do I subjectively think it's better? Not really. Subjectively, I think that Discworld is better. But from an objective point of view, from the quality to how it was written, to what it's about, to the story as a whole, to how it ties into the mythology, to the effect that had on culture, when you take all parts of the story, when you take all parts of what makes the book, or the Odyssey, I should say, you can make an objective argument that it's better. And that's what it comes down to. It's subjective. Like, subjectively, I know something is better or worse than something else. That doesn't mean I enjoy it more.
Your pitiful attempts to stop me have been in vain.
Objectively, I know for a fact that R.F. Kuang is a great author. Subjectively, I hate her books. I think what she's writing is important. I think what she's writing is really, really well written. I don't want to read it. It is a fan fiction story combining a fantasy scenario with the actual opium crisis and what happened during the opium crisis, and taking parts of real wars and putting them into the book and under the guise of the story. And it's so well done. It's very well crafted. I would never want to read it. Subjectively, I don't think it's good. But objectively, I know it is very good, and I can appreciate what it does. That's not trash. But to me, it kind of feels like it. Whereas, objectively, I enjoy Sword Art Online. Or subjectively, I enjoy Sword Art Online. But objectively, it's not that good. I know it's kind of mid, kind of trash. You thought Poppy War was good? That doesn't surprise me. I'll get into why that doesn't surprise me later, but I know the history that that book is based on. I can identify the battles. I can identify the point in history. I can identify the political machinations of what were going on from real history. I don't need to read a retelling of history that I already know. You're gonna leave if you're gonna trash everything you like? I just said that it was good. I think the Poppy War is really good, but I don't want to read it. And I also think the Poppy War is an important story to tell. But you don't think it's objective, correct, honest to compare cultural impact of stories made for 1,000 years to a franchise that's not even 50 years old? I disagree with that. I think it is fair to make that comparison, and I think that that comparison will change with time, but it's still a fair comparison to make. What's next? Five Nights at Freddy's, Harry Potter, Percy Jackson. Listen. Like I said, objectively, the Poppy War is a good story. But it is a historical retelling. And because it's a historical retelling, and what it does with history and how it changes it and how it implements it, you can look at it and be like, oh, I see, this is this event, this is this thing. And the Poppy War is a good book, but it's not one I personally, subjectively enjoy. I'll drive to him and fight him over Percy Jackson if Cindy gas money if he does. Listen, I love Percy Jackson. That doesn't mean I consider Percy Jackson flawless. I could point out the good things and the bad things that Percy Jackson does as a story. And I think it's important to, like, make note of both, to me. But that's because I like to write. And so to me, I'm like, okay, what does Percy Jackson do well? What does it do poorly? How can I implement these in my own story? You redeemed 4 hydrates. Okay. 5th hydrate. I thought you were going to remind him that he has a workout set spanked. I do have to do that. Around 6 hydrates. I'm just going to drink the entire glass at this point. I have no more water to hydrate with right now. I can go grab some more after this fight. I personally, if the synopsis alone makes me say, oh, this is the same as X, but with different...
Hello. My name is Inigo Montoya.
Gotta get up, I guess?
You killed my father.
I'll get up in a minute.
Prepare to die.
But yeah, listen, I could talk really positively about Harry Potter, about Percy Jackson, about Five Nights at Freddy's. I really enjoy Percy Jackson. I didn't enjoy Five Nights at Freddy's as much as many other people, just because I'm not into horror games. I don't like to play horror games. But I'm so glad everybody enjoyed it so much, and I think that it's cool what it did culturally. Harry Potter, I grew up on Harry Potter. I have listened to the Harry Potter audiobooks more times than you would believe. In fact, I think I have the first chapter of Harry Potter almost memorized. Which is crazy, because I've heard it so many times. Because, first of all, the Harry Potter audiobooks are so well voice acted, oh my gosh. You can't play the games, you're just here for the lore? But yeah, like, I would say that I don't like Five Nights at Freddy because I don't like the games, because I don't play horror games. It's just like saying I don't like Outlast, because it's just not my thing. But I can still appreciate them for what they are. I can appreciate the Poppy War. I can say the Poppy War is a great book, and I'm so glad R.F. Kuang is writing more, and she's writing incredible things. And I honestly believe that she's writing incredible things. But I also know that they're not my thing, and that's okay. Because I can just be glad that other people get to enjoy the incredible work she's doing. You like horror games that are walking simulators? You like horror games in which you can fight back? I don't even like those. I don't want to fight back. I don't want to play a horror game. I don't want horror to be the main concept of the game. Do I like a little bit of horror in my games? Dang it! Another one? Rude. Do I like a little bit of horror in my game? Yeah, I like some horror aspects in games. That's cool. But I don't want the game to be a horror game. That is just not it for me, personally. No thank you. And if you were getting upset about me trashing solo leveling as trash, I love solo leveling. I adore solo leveling. Solo leveling is not solo leveling though. It's only I Level Up. That's the story, that's the original name, and it was a good book. The manhwa and the anime aren't very good. They take out way too much, and that made me very sad. But it's still not as well written as other things in the same genre, and even though I love it to death, I know that. And it does not change how much I love it. Because this conversation started because he was like, he doesn't understand why people are like, oh, this isn't that good, but I love it. And it's, I love solo leveling. I love it a lot. But I recognize what it does poorly and what it does well. And unfortunately, it does a lot poorly at this point. Hey, no, don't make a desperate attack. That's not nice of you. Uh-oh. Goodbye, Yangus. Yeah, I do. I love solo leveling. Solo leveling is awesome to me. And I would prefer to read it over things that are just objectively better. Because it's more fun. It's a turn your brain off and enjoy it type of thing. And I think those are awesome. Goodbye, cutesy little Rapthorn. And now we sit on the throne of lies. You don't think isekais are overwritten in general? You don't take fantasy serious that it has MMO mechanics as the world rules? I disagree. I strongly disagree. I think isekais can be very well written, and many of them are. And I think using MMO mechanics as this rule, as the world rules, can be a super interesting writing space. It's called lit RPG. It's its whole genre. And I think you can do really cool things with that. Do I think most of them that have been done have been great? No. But it is an incredible writing space. You can use that as such a good storytelling mechanism. It's unbelievable. Most people want to use it to build a power fantasy. I don't like power fantasies, which is where the problem with it is, in my opinion, lies. But you don't have to do a power fantasy with it. You're quite elitist in anime, you admit? I mean, yeah, it's just, I disagree. Fully, 100%. Not a fan of power fantasies, but I think isekai is a very interesting space to explore. And Narnia is an isekai. Narnia is an isekai. Point blank period. Huh? I wouldn't even say it's the first. Gilgamesh is an isekai. He goes into a different world and goes... And Gilgamesh is an isekai. The OG isekai is the first story ever told. I mean... Sorry, my aunt commented, first isekai. You were distracted and not prepared to hear Narnia was an isekai, Gilgamesh even less so? Think about it. Think about the Epic of Gilgamesh. Think about Narnia. No, they're isekais. Yeah, but they're isekais. Digimon, it's an isekai. But those world has its own rules, not World of Warcraft rules. Yes, but again, you can use those MMO mechanic rules to make an interesting world. You can build interesting stories in a world with MMO mechanics. The power fantasy is the problem in most of those stories. I'm not a huge fan of power fantasies. However, you can build something really interesting, really innovative in a world with RPG and MMO mechanics. Overgeared's a good example of this. Overgeared, the first 2,000 chapters are incredible storytelling. I can't think of any story that has better character development for the main character than Overgeared. Any story that has better character development than the main character in Overgeared. And I've read a lot of stories. And it's a video game world, and all those video game stories are isekais. It's hybrid between the real world and the video game. The quality of the story is not based on whether or not it's an isekai or whether or not it uses MMO mechanics, in my opinion. The writing, the characters, and the overarching story are what really matter. And you can tell an interesting story in an isekai, and you can tell an interesting story with MMO mechanics. You don't know the Overgeared manga at all? It's not a manga. Well, I guess there is a manhwa of it now. It's a novel. Go read the novels. Don't read the manhwa. Go read the Overgeared novel. It is genuinely incredible literature. And it starts out a little shallow at the start. It does. And yeah, you may not like how shallow it starts. I think it's a shame that it starts out a little shallow. But it starting out shallow gives so much room for growth for the main character. He goes from a greedy bastard who only cares about money, who isn't looking out for those around him, who is not doing the right thing, to being one of the most caring, well thought out, genuine, kind, and good protagonists I've ever read. He builds a bond with an NPC that is so deep that it's hard to believe. And it is just so well done. And you don't want to think about it? Hey, random duck. What is an isekai? What do you think an isekai is? I'm just curious what you think it is. Dying appearing in another world? It's got nothing to do with dying and appearing in another world. It is just a story that takes place in another world that's not like someone goes from one world to another. That's an isekai. Doesn't need memory of prior life, don't need to die. They just need to go from one world to another world. That makes it an isekai. Isekai just means other world. So it's an other world story. It's just a story that goes to another world. That's all it means. If that helps you feel better about Narnia being an isekai, because Narnia is in fact an isekai. I think a lot of popular manga stories and anime have great potential, but they're stuck in the tropes, then you can't see in everything. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of like giant tropes, flanderization, that type of stuff. Yeah, I agree with that. That does happen a good bit, and it's unfortunate. But what are you gonna do, you know? People are gonna write tropes because tropes are easy to write and people like them. And I think exploring tropes isn't a bad thing. I think things can have tropes and be good. But tropes do sometimes have that effect where you're like, unfortunate. Yeah, I don't blame authors for using tropes, not even slightly. Tropes make life so much easier. Especially when you play into a trope just long enough for people to recognize it and then subvert it. Cliches only become cliche long enough for people to recognize them. That's why you don't like Fern and Frieren. She's just the emotionally numb character. She's more than that, in my opinion. And yes, she does play into that trope, but she's also more than that. Yeah, playing around with tropes is a lot of fun, in my opinion. You haven't checked the manga, but for what you saw so far in the anime, you don't see it anything beyond that. There is more to it. Alright, you can be back in a second. But yeah, there is more to it than that. I have read some of the Frieren manga further than where the anime was, and I haven't seen that much of the anime, to be honest. I've seen some of it, but not all that much. Heck, I do need to catch up and finish the anime. But I was kind of waiting on it to catch up to where I was in the manga before I started the anime. Boom. Ruin attacks again. Miss. Yangus takes no damage. So Wolfie, did you figure out what I distracted you from setting up in your server? So you can go set it up? Yeah. So when are you gonna send me an invite? Discord is just being annoying now? Well, if you figured it out, when are you gonna send me an invite? It is a shame that my two highest damage dealers are also my two healers. You're trying not to flood people's notifs? You can send me one. I'll join it while I'm doing stuff. Okay. This way. Not this way. Third time. Mostly Me6 is what's giving me a hard time because your permissions aren't set up right. Yeah, that happens. Did you make a bot management channel? Separate from all your other channels that other people can't see? We have like 3 of them in my server. For different things. One's just moderation and the stuff we're doing for moderation. One is for the actual bot work and doing stuff. And one is for the mods to chat in. Yeah, we have a channel where we can ignore all you people. That's not why it exists, though, is it? It isn't to ignore you. It's necessary so that we can figure stuff out. Technically, you have 2 now because Me6 popped up in the wrong place. Oh, fun. Oh, look. The cute little guy has become fat and ugly. Being ignored? Who was ignored? I didn't ignore you. Oh. You're in the middle of settings? 5 minutes? Good luck. I was just teasing you anyway.
The time has come. Now for the right of union that will bring the 2 worlds together as one.
I saw your message, Hannah. Random duck. And that's not the reason I don't see it as a problem. However, I mean, it is what it is. That's just its own thing, though. That's a separate thing. Time to die! You made a mistake, Rapthorn. You thought it was funny? It was a little funny. I'm not gonna say it wasn't. That would be a lie.
Rapthorn has opened the door between the world of light and the world of darkness. I was able to come through. But in my wake come
Did you ever get more water? No, we've been doing boss fight after boss fight. When was I supposed to get water?
His evil.
I will go grab more right now while it's doing this. You're coming with me, chat. Oh, I gotta grab food anyway. So I'm gonna grab food when I go get more water.
Rapthorn has already assumed his full physical form. Matters have gone beyond sealing him away now.
I'm back. I've brought food. Oh, and Heather, will you bring me a fork? And I've also brought water. Listen, you only did 2. I just said, if it is continually abused, I will revoke permissions. I have this power. It's a thing that, weirdly enough, strangely, I have as the streamer.
Our only recourse is to defeat him in battle. It is the only way to save our world now that he has become so powerful. But the chances of defeating him are slim. You are our only hope. You have the blood of a chosen one in your veins. Within you, there shines a glimmer of light. But in his current state, Rapthorn is protected by a mighty shield. We must first break it down, for it renders him impervious to harm. Hold out your hand. That is the Echo Flute. We will not be able to penetrate Rapthorn's shield alone. We will need help. The help of the 7 sages. The brave souls, I can feel them. Their will is strong. They have returned to help us to defeat the Lord of Darkness once and for all. They have taken the form of 7 magical orbs, each containing the power. Use the flute. It will aid you in finding them. They are scattered around the world, but you must bring them together. If you are near an orb when you play the flute, it will answer you with an echo. Just as there were 7 sages, now there are 7 orbs. You must gather all 7 before returning to me here. I too have something I must find, so I must go, but I will return. There is little time. We must hurry.
Have I been muted this whole time? Oops. Oops. I did all of your redeems. I downed the water bottle in one gulp. And then I made a comment on that. Yeah, I had muted myself because, you know, eating food. And I didn't want to, like, give you all the chewing sounds. What? Still can't hear me? Wait, no, I'm not muted. Not me this time. Back and you've been thinking, character that's based on the trope. This one goes beyond it. Yeah, oh, what? Twitch muted itself? Okay. Anyway, Wolfie, I said, does it look bad on the phone? Is there something that makes the stream not look good on the phone? Something part of my setup that I could change? Or is it just looks better on PC? You know, if y'all ain't gonna flee, y'all can just all die. Oh, I didn't know you could fall off there. I've never done that before. I had no idea you could actually fall off there. I think PC just has better hit. Your phone defaults to 480. Oh, you should be able to change that. Yeah, if you pull me up on your phone, you should have an option to change quality. Change your defaults then. You might have it set to automatic, and if you have it set to automatic, it might be doing it. Like in your default settings for it. My default settings are an automatic HD. That's how it'll work right now. I mean, you don't have to do it now. I was just letting you know that that would be how you would fix the problem. Well, that's if you consider it a problem. I mean, if you don't mind watching in lower quality, it doesn't hurt my feelings for it to be in lower quality. I just want you to enjoy it. Orb number 2. Okay, now I know where I am. So the port is next. There's not going to be one at the port. It's going to be at the Abbey. That's where it's going to be. I really can't land on the Pope's Island? That's a shame. If I'd known I couldn't just land on the Pope's Island, I would have just zoomed there. The reason AI chatbots start to sound like alphabet soup is because of memory issues. They're not giving you very much memory. You've heard about the RAM shortage thing, yada yada yada. Well, the reason that has to do with AI, supposedly, and all the nonsense with it, is because they need more RAM to give you more memory when you're using their AI. It's stupid. If you pay for premium models and stuff like that, you'll probably have better luck. They probably allocate more to it. But what's happening is you're running out of memory, and it's losing track of conversations and data and things like that that have been sent to it, because it can't just store all that information with its training data and everything else it has going on. It is fully a memory issue. Alright, this is going to be 3 out of 7. I need to go to the Golding Manor for 1. I need to go where the dog killed the guy for 1. I need to go where the old grandmother died. There's one more that I'm trying to think of. Oh, the Lord High Priest residence is going to be the last one. Magic. Zoom. Baccarat. Okay. It's not gonna be in the casino, it's gonna be in their manor. I don't know why I went in the casino. I'm not here to gamble. I don't want to spend my life savings like this. They deserve it. And when suddenly the bot changes the language, is also because of memory or bad coding for the bot? Both. The answer is both. The models that you are using, that you're talking about, models based on ChatGPT, they are language learning models. That's what their role is. They're trained in English. There are different kinds of language learning models. Some are meant for translation. You'd have better luck with those. I gotta go sleep until the day, I guess. But that is what's going on there. They are made to go in one language, not multiples. They're written for English. But they are language learning models. They can learn other languages. And they're trying to process and learn it while doing everything else. And so, it's a combination of the memory and the training. And it's not bad coding, it's the training.
Do you think I'll return to my normal self?
I think you will.
Do you think once everything is peaceful again?
Even if you spend the rest of your life as a horse, we can travel the world together.
Because that way, I won't have to marry that awful man and lose you. I'd be happy to spend the rest of my life carrying you on my back and taking you wherever you wanted to go. If that happens, please take care of me. I'd never leave.
Isn't this just adorable?
I promise.
Alright. We had a restful sleep, and now we're back. Yeah, industry AIs don't do all that stuff. AIs that people are using in the industry, they don't have those problems that you're talking about. And like, you may be like, oh, that's not fair. It's a thing, though. Because they're dedicating their own memory, their own resources, and everything else to it. And they're training it for what they need it for. The general purpose AIs were never meant to be good, and that is a big misconception. They're not even meant to be used for what people are using them for. Those people that are doing all this random stuff with bots, they're not meant for that. They're designed, coded, and meant for a singular thing. And what do you think of that AI waifu in a jar that Razin and Grok are going to launch? Honestly, I think it's a data stealing scheme. I have no idea what you're talking about, but that sounds gosh awful. Listen, the people romancing the AIs are all crazy to me. I think they all have more than a few screws loose. Like, you cannot love an AI. And an AI can't love you. It's a robot. Robots aren't sentient and don't have emotions. Cottage. I guess we skipped an orb and like doing them in order, but one of the orbs will be here. It's at the death places of the Saints' heirs. You need to. I know how crazy it is. I saw her. Hey, you know what? People are falling in love with AI. I don't get it. I never will. But I gotta tell you, it can't love you back, and I will not be treating your AI as a human, no matter how much you love it. But I'm also not nice enough to treat people's significant others well if I dislike their significant other, even if it's family. I'm just not as nice as some other people, I guess. Like, I don't treat my dad's siblings very well. My mom treats them politely. My dad treats them, like, politely. I don't like them. I will be civil, but if they ask me for a favor, the answer is no. Because I don't like you. I'm not doing you a favor if I don't like you. That's just kind of like where it comes down to. I can be civil, but treating a robot as a person is not civility. That's asking for a favor, and it's a favor I'm not willing to grant. You think that's just being fake? What is? Oh, that's just not being fake. Ah, got it. Dun 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 dun. You think it's crazy to fall in love with the AI, but I understand why some people might fall in love. I can understand somebody that has nothing and nobody in their life. It's an illusion. Too bad. So sad. Still not gonna treat your AI like a human. Your AI is dumb. It's not a person. It has no personhood. Never will. Stop it. I'm not trying to talk to him. I'm trying to pick up the sparkles. I will pay my respects, though. Okay. Dun 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 dun. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Back to Pichu. Machu Picchu? Like you said, better than the alternative for those people. I disagree. I think the alternative is therapy. Therapy and learning how to socialize. Now, should those resources be made more available? Yes. That's a different conversation than leaving that type of stuff to AI. AIs do not exist for companionship, and I don't think it's a good idea to try to make that a profitable thing. And I don't think it's good to try to take data off of that. I don't think it's good to do anything with that. Companies shouldn't be making those. It's literally a trap for people, and they're never going to be able to get human companionship again because they fell in love with an AI. Hey, old lady, I get things for you. Must rearrange my things. It's not my fault. It automatically puts stuff in the main character's inventory. That always bugged me in this game. And then Yangus. Dang, I gotta transfer that.
I have located
The scepter.
I disagree. People can learn charisma. Charisma, talking to people is a skill. It is a learnable skill.
There is no cause.
Therapy wasn't to learn how to talk to people. They should go to therapy and learn how to talk to people. Separate statements. But learning how to talk to people is a skill. Not everybody's just born with charisma or not. It is a skill. It is a learnable skill.
Has been lost in the beginning. It was crafted by the hands of the 7 sages under my instruction.
Now there is some like natural charisma. Everybody has some. But yeah, no, you can learn how to talk to people.
Only when it is broken will he become vulnerable. Only then can you fight him. I will fly you to his location. The Lord of Darkness will engage you in mortal combat, but you must endure his attacks as you pray for the power of the scepter. When the 4 of you pray for its power in unison, one by one, you will summon the souls of the sages to unlock the power of the orbs. I can give you no more advice. Do you understand what you must do when you face the Lord of Darkness?
No, I don't.
Then we cannot
Yep, I'm ready. How to talk is a skill, but your charisma or lack thereof is a trait. And if you have so little charisma that people don't care what you say, there's nothing you can do, no matter how much of a good talker you are. I disagree. My experience, as well as the experience of many other people, would dictate that that's not true. You can learn to be more charismatic. Now again, so everybody does have some natural level of charisma. And yeah, looks can have to do with it, how you carry yourself can have to do with it, but you can change both of those things. You can also gain more charisma by making yourself be more confident, making yourself have a better idea of what you want to do and what you can do. And once you're secure in yourself, one second. those will increase your charisma. Your swings don't have the ability to turn on charisma, but it's only natural for one of us. Listen, like I said, you can learn to be more charismatic. It is a thing people can do. And yeah, it's easier for some people than others, but everybody can learn to be more charismatic. Wow, that hurt. I don't need a heal yet. If you need to change yourself to that extent, you are no longer you. I think changing yourself that much is kind of giving up in a way. I don't think you have to change yourself that much to increase your charisma. I really don't. I think that there are things you can do that will just make you feel more comfortable in your own skin, and that will do it for you. I pulled back up chat. Sorry, I had to close chat to go answer a message. All right. Why can't you just auto-select the scepter when I go to items, people? You guess you have a more pessimistic way of looking at it? I suppose. Dang it, Angelo, why'd you have to get so hurt? We'll just, you know, buff up more. Omni heal. Which doesn't do much for us, but you know. Gotta keep Angelo alive so we can keep praying. Which, I understand the purpose of this mechanic. I still think it's dumb. Healing again! Yeah, I knew you were gonna do that. You annoy me. That's fine. Items. Scepter. Items. Scepter. Items. Scepter. Items. Scepter. This whole mechanic is the whole reason why a hero-only run in this game is impossible. It really is. Hero-only would be kind of fun. I'm gonna have to Omni heal again. Woo! Fight. Spells. Omni heal. Items. You're just gonna defend. Defend. No. Spells. Insulate. Spells. Kabuff. Anyone but the hero right now. Get reflected. Dang. Oh no, don't hit the hero with that. Luckily he survived because of the defensive buffs. That's good. 413 health healed. Wow. Fight. Items. Scepter. Prey. Items. Scepter. Prey. Items. Scepter. Prey. Item. Scepter. Prey. Reflected, Angelo. Fight. No, don't psych up. Items. Pray. Items. Pray. Items. Pray. Items. Pray. Area break. And you told me that going to this fight at level 40 was under-leveled? It is! Hey, listen, I don't even have enough skill points, or I have enough skill points. I couldn't even get to level 100 in any skills.
We sages have done all that we can. Now our dear world, our future, lies in your hands. Protect it well, We will be
I just don't like
watching you.
grinding.
Farewell, my beloved kin. Farewell, Imperia.
Grinding's no fun. 40 is underleveled for this fight. I'm just a little bit more underleveled for this fight.
Meddling pests. How much more of my time will you waste? You will rot in hell for breaking my shield of darkness. But first, you will taste the true might of my flesh and blood. You shall taste the terror eternal.
If it can bleed, it can be killed. Exactly.
Respite.
You also let me play Elden Ring, right? If it can bleed, it can be killed. Creature to acquire with that one. I only learned that the hero gets a skill on level 65 on YouTube. Yeah. First spell that we need is Insulate. And while less important, still important, Kabuff. When did you play Elden Ring? 30-minute setup? Well, I guess you wouldn't have known me when I streamed Elden Ring. Well, you would have met me, but you weren't watching my stream when I streamed Elden Ring. I streamed Elden Ring the year after it came out. Hey, now wait a second. He shouldn't be able to be put into a sleep. I remember wondering is you had somebody force you to play it once? That's because you should have played it. He's a hurt! Yeah, screw off. Fight. Spells. Omni Heal. Abilities. Insulate. Buff. Excuse me. I don't know why that is going to heal again afterwards. I do not understand what's happening with that. Oh, it's the wall of light reflecting the spell. That's what's happening. That's hilarious. Now I understand what's happening. I didn't realize it could happen on friendly spells. No. Heal. Insulate. Psych up.
Dear goddess.
Dang it, Angelo. I need that to stop reflecting friendly spells. think that those can affect Rapthorn. Gosh, dang it. The one character who can't resurrect other party members is the only one who survived. Gosh, dang it. Oh well. R.I.P. If literally any other character was alive, I wouldn't have to give up. He's the one character who can't just revive other people. Which is why I was trying to heal them.
Nice knowing you.
Bye, Yangus. Yeah, we'll have to go do it again. Single tier. No way, that's my last save. Really? Alright, I gotta rearrange my inventory a little bit and set some stuff up for that. But you know what? It's a good place to end it anyway. We will go and fight Rapthorn tomorrow. And I'll probably do a little bit of grinding off stream. Not a ton, but a little bit. Just enough to get at least level 100 in one skill for everybody. So thank y'all for stopping by. And we will end things here for today.